Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. And we're going to talk about Obi Wan and Boba Fett. Now that makes me mad because these are films that should be happening already. Maybe you don't even want an Obi Wan, but we're going to talk about it. And you know what? Updates on Obi Wan and Boba Fett movies are missing, and there's a reason. And they are on hold until after Kathy's stepping down. Cough, cough, fired announcement. And you know what? All you viewers that claim clickbait and want everything official, look what Lucasfilm is officially calling half their fans. I don't want to listen to what Lucasfilm has to say officially until it's officially that she's gone. And it's not going to be fired officially. It's going to be stepping down, moving on, great career. And that's what we're going to talk about. But these movies are on hold. That's what we're going to examine. Lucasfilm official announcements are more BS than my speculation videos. So let's get back to it. Thanks, Kathy. Another failure of Kathy is the Obi Wan, a Star Wars story, Kenobi project. And now, the Boba Fett announcements. These films were supposed to be announced already. Obi-Wan had a few false starts already. First Star Wars Celebration 2017, where behind the scenes, Solo was falling apart. So then Kathy said, before the end of summer, when they didn't make the announcement at Celebration, she said, oh, well, there'll be an announcement about the next one, the end of summer. The end of summer. And people were thinking at that time, I'm going back to that time, people were thinking maybe possibly a D23. And then, a reputable site like Hollywood Reporter had an article ready to go with all the details. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. These PR packages are ready to go way in advance. And this just shows how disorganized Lucasfilm is under Kathy. They canceled the announcement, but forgot to stop the Hollywood Reporter article, which would have been an exclusive. And the Obi-Wan film is the worst kept secret about Star Wars right now. And now it happened again with Boba Fett. Multiple sites this time had articles ready to go. I'm going to go over an excerpt from the Variety article. Okay, and this is where I'm going to read part of the article. Boba Fett is getting his own spin-off. Disney is developing a Star Wars standalone movie centered on the bounty hunter Boba Fett from Logan director James Mangold. Variety has learned from several sources. Simon Kinberg, best known as a writer-producer on the X movies, will collaborate with Mangold on the Boba Fett movie as a co-writer and producer. The untitled movie will be part of the studio's Star Wars anthology films, which are being spun off as origin stories. The first anthology film was 2016's Rogue One, a Star Wars story, followed by Solo, a Star Wars story, starring Alden Ehrenreich as young Han Solo. Solo began opening in previews on Thursday night in North America, with forecast of a debut weekend of 130 million to 150 million. I think this article came out the Wednesday or Thursday. Variety first reported in August that Disney and Lucasfilm were in development on a spin-off movie centering on Obi Wan Kenobi and Stephen Daldry in negotiations to direct. But now, since the Solo bomb, would ever even happen anymore? Are the productions on hold? I think it will happen. I just think they're on hold. Or officially, they're not going to announce it's officially on hold until after she's gone. My speculation is it will happen, just not until Kathy is gone. And all the articles for the Boba Fett were going to be followed by an official announcement by Lucasfilm. But the Solo numbers started coming in, and behind the scenes they panicked. Just like the panic at Star Wars Celebration 2017, where the Star Wars movie universe under Disney jumped the tracks. And remember, it was really odd that Mark Hamill was grumpy then too. There was a lot of stuff that went down behind the scenes, but they put on a smiling face to get all that money coming in. So, I think that was a big turning point in this disaster was around the time of Celebration. Solo was a disaster behind the scenes. Rian Johnson finished filming some possible reshoots they could have done with Carrie. No longer possible. So they left it as is. And they filmed on a first draft, apparently. So they just left it as is. They said, we had a full performance from Carrie. We left it as is. They didn't know what to do, basically. They don't know what to do with anything. That's how we're in this situation. But that's where it jumped the tracks. Personally, I don't think they know what they are doing. And nothing is moving forward until after they make the official replacement announcement in September. The other reason for this is they need to focus on getting the episode 9 production started as smoothly as possible, which begins shortly. This is the other reason I definitely think she's fired, because the Boba Fett especially announcement was ready to go. All the articles came out anyway, and Lucasfilm was silent. That's how much of a mess. They can't control anything. They're such a mess. Episode 9 is the last Kathleen Kennedy production. She will be on set more, and this also makes sense as to why she isn't stepping down until September. The production of Episode 9 will be well underway, and she will get all those behind the scenes for the Blu-ray like she was integral and really followed through till the end of the trilogy. They can't publicly change the president now. It would delay the production, and beyond getting rid of Kathy, Disney needs to keep the train rolling so they can make that December 2019 release date for the parks, for the streaming service, and to close out this trilogy fast and get it behind them fast. I didn't see Solo, but it's obvious they were trying to connect the next Star Wars story movies with Darth Maul, Boba Fett, and Obi Wan, and that is probably why Jabba's son is rumored to be in Episode 9. That and Lucasfilm, without George, has no creative ideas. So basically, Return of the Jedi Part 2. Plus, the tale they are spinning for Kathy, not finishing her tenure before the end of the trilogy, would be seen as a failure. Even though she is one. The deadline is more important to keep the Star Wars train rolling. Oh, this is my second thumbnail I was thinking about. False starts and farts. That's basically all she's good for. She can't get anything going, and Solo didn't break records. It broke wind at the box office. I want to hear from you, though. I think Boba Fett announcement was ready to go, but the disaster at the box office from Solo, they were unprepared for at that time. Kathy was fired behind the scenes, but given the opportunity to finish the trilogy, so she can have her storybook ending. But just one more on the many reasons I 1,000% believe she was fired. Now, some call me the master of baiting. And you know what? I do want to get people to view. But I don't make videos just to make them. I 100% believe, 1,000% believe she's done. I could be wrong, but there's so much evidence. If you've been following the movie industry for years, there's lots of reasons, lots of clues. Read between the lines. I don't listen to official announcements. I look at what's happening and come to my own conclusions, and I share them with you, my friends, for a hot topic. That's what this series is about. It's fun, too, isn't it? So I'd love to get your opinions and your speculation what's happening, but this is what I believe. They're just going to have her, at least part of the production of Episode 9, to say she finished it out. I really think they canceled that official Boba Fett announcement at the last moment. They already saw the Thursday numbers coming in, and it was too late to stop the press. And they want to separate those productions of Obi Wan Kenobi, a Star Wars story, and Boba Fett, a Star Wars story, or Underworld, or whatever they're going to call it. They want to separate it from Kathy. They want to get the spin of a production that has nothing to do with a Kathy production. And that's why it's on hold. At least they're not going to comment officially until she's replaced. These are announcements. It's a shame for Obi-Wan. Now, I do think these are definitely still going to happen because they need something. And those trilogies, well, Ryan's not going to happen. And Benioff and Weiss, they need to finish filming the final season of Game of Thrones. So that's a way off. They need something to fill the gap. So, Obi-Wan and Boba Fett, I think, will happen, but they want to get the spin of the first productions under the new leadership. And that's why the official announcements were delayed, but they're so disorganized they couldn't stop the press. Okay, and now on a separate note, I am planning doing a daily show again. Rebranding my daily show again. The Force of Fandom Movie Talk. Because the Force is fandom. And I may even include Kathy is Fired in the title of the daily show. Kathy is fired by the Force of Fandom. You know, because masturbate. And I can't stop saying it because I believe Kathy is fired. And I don't want to listen to the spin they're going to try to force down our throats. There's so many reasons I keep saying Kathy is fired. It's to get the conversation going. It's that it needs to be talked about. And it's because when you officially hear what Lucasfilm is going to say, it's going to make you want to throw up. And they're not going to use the word fired. But that is the reality. The reality is she's fired. They're just going to do it in a Hollywood movie magic way. That's all. But the reality is, not officially, I don't care what they say officially. So that's what I'm going to be working on, along with some more hot topics. And all those Tico tantrums that are happening. Because they do not want to admit the power the consumer has. That's the other reason they don't address our concerns. Because the fear is real. Beyond Star Wars. It's happening in all the entertainment industry. They don't want, and they can't admit how much power the consumer has when they make decisions on their own. And don't fall for PR, spin, and social media influencers that are more concerned with their following than a genuine opinion that would be of value to the movie ticket buying public that works for their money and works and spends their money, hard-earned money, for a way to get away from real world junk. So I went off a little bit of rant there, but the Tico tantrums are also a huge sign about her really being done because everyone's scared. I am working on a hot topic called Another White Male Has a Tico Tantrum. So if you want to see that, comment below. And you all of you, may the Force be with you always, especially the fans, because the fans have the Force. The fandom has the Force. The Force is with the fandom. So that's my thoughts on this one. I'd love to read your comments. Join in the conversation. That's all I want. Keep it real. Talk to me. If you disagree with me, I might respond. You know that. Even those clickbait comments, I'll probably respond. So see you on the next